Hi, this is Matt with LSAT Cracked. In the next few lessons, we're going to be giving you a crash course in some of the things that college should have taught you, but might not have, depending on the major. You can think of this as a sort of philosophy/statistics 101 that help you understand some extremely important concepts that you'll be expected to know for success on the logical reasoning section. As a preview of what we'll be talking about, we're going to be examining causation. You'll be learning the different types of causation templates that you might see on the LSAT, and you're going to learn why you can never, at least on the LSAT, never prove causation. That is, any conclusion that says A caused B, or A was the sole cause of B, or A thus explains why B happened, all of those are causation conclusions. You can think of explanations and causation as essentially equivalent for the purposes of this discussion. You can never prove that A caused B. Now, there are generally two templates that they'll try and use to do this. The first one is they'll say that A immediately preceded B. Now, an absurd example of this would look like I dropped my pencil, hit the floor, 2 seconds later, there was a violent earthquake in Lima, Peru. Okay, we all know, right, intuitively, common sense-wise, that just because A, in this case dropping the pencil, occurred right before B, it doesn't necessarily mean or prove that A caused B. But they're going to give you a more tempting example, like the city of Springville instituted speed bumps in 2017, and over the last 3 years, we've seen a sharp decrease in traffic fatalities. Now, might the speed bump introduction explain the decline in traffic deaths? Sure, maybe, but it's not a must-be-true claim. There's an infinite number of other causes that might have also been the main cause. So, just because A precedes B does not necessarily mean that A caused B. That's what we mean when we say coincidence does not necessarily equal causation. The other template is correlation does not necessarily equal causation. That's when you see a statistical relationship between two variables. Generally speaking, the higher one is on a list, a ranking, let's say we organize countries by their consumption of daily saturated fat, the higher up a country is on that list, generally speaking, on average, the more likely we are to see high cancer rates. That country is going to rank higher on a cancer list. Now, just because there's a positive correlation between fat intake and cancer, does that necessarily mean that fat causes cancer? Well, it might cause cancer, but it's not a must-be-true claim. It's entirely possible that in some scenarios, the second variable, let's call it B, causes the first. Somewhat unlikely here. Are precancerous cells causing someone to crave more fat? Probably not. What's more likely is there could be a third variable, let's say industrial pollution, a third variable C, that might also be positively correlated with A, here, fat intake. So what if it's the case that a country that has the highest levels of saturated fat also tends to be a developed nation that has high levels of industrial pollution, a plausible alternate cause for the observed effect, which is cancer rates? You'll never be able to take a correlation and assume that it absolutely proves causation. In future lessons, we're going to be going over the 3 reliable ways to strengthen and weaken causation arguments.